Hello everyone, this is Days, and welcome to this brief review of my own experience with my personal modded Razer Panthera. Now this isn't the latest model of the Panthera, the latest model being the Razer Panthera Evo, which came out a little over a year ago. But I believe this model is the one that's higher in demand amongst the esports community for various reasons, which I'm about to get into. Now, based on my own experience with this particular Panthera, I'd sum it up by saying that it is an excellent product for any arcade stick or fighting game enthusiast. Whether you want to keep it stock and enjoy the high-grade classic Sanwa stick and buttons, or you'd rather experiment with different parts to see what may or may not work for you. So for those that like to customize their sticks, the Panthera lets you do that with a single press of a button. Coupled with the incredibly sturdy build of the Panthera, it easily sold itself to me and many others, and that's coming from someone who's really into tournaments and competition. After having been recommended the CrazyDongPal Korean lever by Chanel during my trip to IESF 2018 in Taiwan, I decided to give it a shot and ordered one for myself. The CrazyDongPal lever is a desired variation of Samdaxa's 303 series, and it is recommended for most Mishima players. With a low profile collar, 35 Shore A tension grommet with DX core, an actuator with narrow diagonals, and a slightly shorter shaft with a removable top. Since this lever uses a Sanwa compatible mounting plate, it makes it very desirable for Japanese stick owners that are looking to convert their stick without having to do any drilling work on their stick. For those that may not be very familiar with the differences between a Japanese and a Korean stick, here are some of the most notable differences. In a Korean stick, you'll notice the lack of a restrictor gate, whereas in Japanese sticks, you'll notice that they have one of three types of restrictor gates: the round, octagonal, and square gates. Korean sticks use a rubber pad grommet to bring the stick back to neutral, whereas a Japanese stick uses a spring instead. In my personal experience, I found rubber grommets in Korean sticks to be more effective and, most importantly, more accurate in bringing the stick back to neutral without any unnecessary wobble that might result in unintended inputs. And that is a big selling point for Korean sticks, especially for those who play characters that heavily rely on tight and accurate inputs, such as the Mishimas in Tekken. I've been using the same lever with the same parts for almost 2 years now, and as you might have been able to tell, this stick is heavily used and has seen many tournaments and endless hours of ruthless Mishima practice sessions. Since I already had purchased spare parts for my stick, I was not going easy on it at all, given the nature of the Mishima style, which involves constant wave dash movements and just frame inputs with the electrics. Yet still, I've never had to switch up any parts so far, despite my rough use of the lever. Which brings me to the conclusion of this video. When you combine an easily modifiable stick with a super sturdy build and a reliable Korean lever, you end up having a very dependable combination for a good stick that will last years without having to worry much about breakage or spare parts. Although I like to always have a plan B. You never know when a part is faulty, so it's better to stay ahead of problems like that. Korean stick or Japanese stick, it all comes down to personal preference at the end of the day, and what works best for you. Last year's Tekken World Tour winner, Chikurin, is a Japanese stick user, so go with what clicks with you at the end of the day, and with hard work and commitment, you will reach achievements no matter what stick you're using. Above all, you should find it fun and enjoy the ride. The FGC still physically brings us together for the best gaming experience, so let's all be thankful for that and enjoy healthy competition no matter what we score in tournaments.